Okay, so over the course of the last 2 years, we've gone through a major curriculum revision process in our district. We really felt like in order to move forward with meeting students' individual needs, we needed to spend a lot of time looking at what they were getting on a daily basis in their core experiences in classrooms. And so one of our purposes of redesigning our curriculum was to make sure that our core was integrated, differentiated, and provided a really strong foundation for our students and for our teachers to be able to meet the majority of the needs of our students. So with that knowledge and with the need to realign and do some redesign for our curriculum, we went through a multi-step process. We began at the district level with a curriculum team that was made up primarily of central office staff, instructional coaches, and some really strong teacher leaders that went through a design process of what the framework of our curriculum would look like. We spent a couple of months researching curriculum design and curriculum alignment processes with that team in order to build the framework that ultimately ended up being the basis for our redesign. So we ended up going down a path with two different directions within the redesign of our curriculum. We have what we consider to be more generalized documents. One is our year-at-a-glance document, where we really look at the scope and sequence of the year. But what makes that document perhaps unique is that it is integrated and that it is really driven by teachers. It is not a pacing guide. What it is a data-driven decision-making document where teachers understand what the major components of the curriculum are and what times of year they might teach them, but they also have to use the data that they collect in the classrooms in order to make decisions about how to utilize their yearly framework from which to teach. The second direction we went through the curriculum design process was to create more specific resources that are really designed for core curriculum use and for teachers to use as they begin to consider the daily needs of students. These are not units, these are not unit plans, they are quarterly documents that lay out where are the primary resources and the primary pieces of information that if you're teaching particular concepts or particular standards that every teacher should have in their hands. So we went with a less is more approach as we designed the quarterly framework documents. So within those documents you will find access to academic vocabulary for teachers that matches the content that they're teaching. You will find a multidimensional performance task, sometimes multiple performance tasks that teachers can use as they think about beginning with the end in mind with unit plans or with designing what they're doing with their students. There are sections for enrichment and remediation activities based on the standards and the skills that are focus areas for that time of year. So we spent a full year implementing the first round of this process, and we had both of these documents out in schools and of course different levels of implementation during that first year. And as the documents were out there, teachers were part of the writing process. So during the course of the last 2 years, we've also gone through a first round of revisions in this curriculum process. And over the course of the 2 years, we've had approximately 125 teachers involved in the curriculum design and writing and revision process for the district. For us, this is a great opportunity for professional development for our teachers to really dig into the core curriculum, to really be part of implementing what they use on a daily basis, and then having that knowledge of how to design a good piece of core curriculum and then be able to take that back to their classroom and know why it's designed the way that it is.